everyone, this is Mike Regan here with another edition of the Regan Rant for April the 15th, 2010. And today I want to talk about Gears of War 3. Cliff Bleszinski from Epic just made the announcement this past Monday on the Jimmy Fallon show and basically let out what he called it, the internet's worst kept secret, that Epic was indeed working on Gears of War 3. Now, I'm a big fan of the series. I loved the first game. I loved the second game. I was right in there. I was there at the midnight launch for both games, and it's pretty exciting, especially with just enough with the teaser that they showed you of what's to come I'm just excited about the possibility. Gears of War 2. If you look back at Gears of War 2, what an exciting game that was, and what they brought, with the Horde mode. And the multiplayer, because we know multiplayer is going to be solid in Gears of War 3, but what's going to be new this year? I don't even know. I know one big inclusion that was let out the next day was 4-player story mode co-op. That's pretty cool. Looking forward to trying that out. I wonder who the 4 characters are going to be. I hope, for one, Dom's probably going to be one character, maybe. Marcus, of course. I hope Coltrane. He's one of my favorites. And of course, the new woman cog. So who knows? That's looking forward to it soon. What Epic can do within a year. And hopefully, I hate to bring up E3 because I seem to do it every podcast and every Regan rant, but E3 can't come even quicker because I'm just hoping that it's playable there on the showroom floor, so I can try it out and go at it. Anyway, speaking of E3, we did a little bit something different this year at the podcast. Last year we did a podcast basically every day that we were there, Monday, Tuesday, and I don't think we did one the last day, but we did 3 podcasts during the week. This year, we're still gonna do a podcast every day, but what we're gonna do is something a little bit different. On the second day of the first day, we haven't really decided yet. One of the days at the E3, we're gonna actually have a live podcast, meaning we're all gonna be in the room, we're all gonna be recording the podcast, but we're also gonna open it up where people can call us, get their questions answered by us, people in the room, the GR8 crew, and basically ask us questions and requests of what you want to see the next day in our coverage. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a little experiment. And again, this all depends on our internet service. Last year, our internet wasn't very good, so I can't guarantee you. I mean, it's not going to be the same, but I'm hoping. I have faith that our internet service is going to be better. And we'll talk more a little bit about E3 once we get closer. But we're definitely getting ready. We're getting everything that we need. I will have my iPad by then. I'm looking forward to getting that. Haven't got mine yet, but I am getting one. Also want to talk a little bit about this week's podcast. We are going to have another podcast. The Gamecast will record that Friday. And like I said, I'm still working on the format and seeing if we can bring in our listeners and see if they can, see if there's interest in him joining the show, maybe asking the questions, and maybe we can answer questions in a format there. I'm still working on the format of that, but and of course I will have more information on the site. Be sure to check all our comments. We have a lot of new columnists writing columns based on it. We have new stuff coming on the site basically on a daily basis, and be sure to check that out. One of the questions I get a lot is about Gaming Ring itself, and what is our focus? What is Gaming Ring all about? Well, and I want to answer that because I think it's a legitimate question. For the longest time, Gaming Ring was a website that was completely dedicated to wrestling games, and that was our niche, and that was what we were known for, and we did really well with that. We built a nice community. We have over 40,000 people registered in the forums. People are coming in every day. We have great contacts with the developers. They know us by name. I mean, if you did a Google search or a YouTube search for THQ, Brian Williams, chances are you're going to get a interview with me in it, or Gaming Ring in it, conducting an interview. Because that's how synonymous we are with their wrestling games. And I'm not saying it to toot my own horn, but that's true. I mean, I did a search at THQ Brian Williams, and that's what came up. The very first thing was an interview that I did with him. But anyway, with that being said, Gaming Ring is still, we still cater to the wrestling fans, and we have we just recently unveiled our channels. We're still working on tweaking it a little bit, but one of the channels that we have is Wrestling Games, which has all our wrestling game news, all our wrestling game coverage, all in that one place, which you can check out. And so I highly recommend doing that. But we're also at the same time, we also realize that as wrestling game fans, wrestling games do not come out on a yearly basis. I mean, basically they come out once a year. And if we're lucky, we might get 2 games. If we're lucky, we might even get 3 games, depending on, like Midway, for example. But for the most part, in order for us to keep active and have something to talk about and something to do, work on the site, we needed to expand our focus a little bit. So that's why we started, hiring wrestling columnists. People who, like, for example, Scott. I don't know if you haven't checked out his column, Fumbles Wrestling, I highly recommend you do so. Randy Creswell, Ransting, in my opinion, check his column out. It's a great column. But at the same time, we're also looking at video games and games that are interested in us, that that we think that people like us are going to be interested in. Games like Splinter Cell Convention. Brad did a review of that game. Final Fight, which does have some wrestling moves in it. It's not a wrestling game per se, but it does have some wrestling connections. Saturday Night Slam Masters, Hagar was in that game, as well as Final Fight, so there is some connection there. But yeah, we're basically we're a video game wrestling / wrestling game website, and that's what we do. And that's who we are. But I just want to put that out there. I mean, I know people had questions. I mean, what are we? What are we doing? And that's what we're doing. We're a video game / wrestling game website. We'll focus on those, and we'll focus on interviews and videos and whatnot. So that's our focus, and that's what we do. So if that interests you, you're in the right place. Thank you for visiting GamingRing.com. Now, if you have any questions, any comments, or suggestions, please feel free to email me. My email address is mike@GamingRing.com. I do welcome your comments, I do welcome your suggestions, and I do welcome your feedback. Again, email is mike@GamingRing.com. I also am on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Mike Gaming Ring. So if you see me online, add me a friend request, and I'll play you in Doom or something. I don't know, whatever I'm playing at the time. Anyway, all right, that's it. Be sure to check out the site. We have the WrestleCast, G8 WrestleCast, probably today. We'll record it today, and we'll have the G8 Gamecast on Friday. So be sure to check that out. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.